Hi everyone, I hope that you are celebrating a happy love day today. I wanted to come forth and just make a video because I'm going to be doing some DIY bodywork on myself just to show some self-love today. And I've actually been spending a little bit of time in one of my throwback publications that's called Love Thyself, Be and Give the Love You Wish to Receive. And so I want to start off by sharing just a little bit from this because today it's very appropriate, even though every day should be a day that we should be practicing self-love so that we can effectively give that love out to others. So I'm just going to share just a little bit from here before we get started. And it's actually from the introduction that is, Be and Give the Love You Wish to Receive. It says, often people are looking to receive external love from others to make them feel whole and complete. However, we must first come to love ourselves enough so deeply that we are willing to be the love and give it from our own overflow of authenticity. An illusion of the absence of love is a call to love. Again, we must learn first how to love ourselves enough that we give away our love in the right way and at the right time. Sometimes people want to be loved so badly by another person that they miss the opportunity to show love to themselves and receive the gift of unconditional love from God. So I just wanted to share just a little bit from this publication, as I thought, again, it's appropriate for today. And on the note of self-love, being able to take care of yourself and to be intentional about your highest and best good and your total well-being is a form of self-love. So when you are practicing wellness or wholeness or DIY bodywork, you are demonstrating that love for yourself and the deep appreciation for your existence. And when you take care of yourself then and love yourself in that way, then you can effectively give that love to others. And so I just wanted to open up with this, that as we take time today, and of course I invite you to join along with me. If you want to work on yourself, I'm going to allow myself just to be guided. I'm sure I'm going to be doing self-massage, but I'm just going to be present. And as always, I love to get hydrated, beforehand. So if you're going to be working along with me, I encourage you to get some water. I'm just taking just a little bit just before. I always like to have myself be pre-hydrated, and I am hydrated, but I'm just taking a few sips, and of course afterwards I'm going to be definitely practicing hydration. It's a form of self-love for sure. So I want to just get started with just massaging and moisturizing my feet. And today I am actually featuring a lotion that I featured in a few videos back, and it is vitamin C plus turmeric, and it is really, really good, and it smells great. It's a very light scent. But I do really love the way that it provides that moisturization, if you will. So it's going to get started here. And again, for those of you who are going to work on yourself along with me, just make sure you've got some moisturization as well. Okay. So I'm just going to allow myself to just be present and see how my body wants to be supported. But meanwhile, I am just going to do, just some basic rubbing, kind of general massaging. So I actually need to put some moisturization on my calves as well. It's always important to take care of yourself and to show yourself some love in this way. One of the things I love about the DIY bodywork is that, as often as you can, it's good to do it, but it just keeps the energy flowing and circulation, being highly stimulated. Just takes stress off the body. And in this day and age, the way that people live and work, and even just environmental things that challenge most of us, causes stress, So it's always good when you can do something that helps to relieve that stress or take it out of the body, of the energy system. Because there are some stressors that you actually can't really control as it relates to environment. But now the way we live our lives, definitely we have, or we should anyway, have more control over that. But even if you find where you can't, if you are taking care of yourself, that's going to help you to combat the different things that can challenge us. At least you have a better chance at having a higher percentage of well-beingness. All right. So I'm just feeling really guided just to do, just some massaging and just allowing myself to be present here. So be sure to set a powerful intention, for yourself. I haven't worked on myself in a few days, and so today I felt was definitely the perfect day to do that. And just come out of a meeting not too long ago, and so just figured I would take this time and share this time with you as well. So sometimes I know some of you may not know exactly what to do. Honestly, when it comes to the DIY bodywork, especially as relates to self-massaging, there really is no wrong way for doing that, as long as you're not putting so much pressure on yourself to hurt yourself. But if you're just doing some general rubbing, and I like to, do kind of light demonstrations, things that are less intimidating, where it's not so technical, even though obviously, because I do this work, I know the technicalities of everything and where everything is, and actually, how to do different levels of massaging and reflexology, acupressure, and acupuncture as well. But when just doing the demonstrations for others to start practicing, it's just, really doing some basic techniques. Anything that can really get the body, stimulated for higher functionality. And so if you're doing just like what I'm doing here, just some general rubbing here, it's helping your blood flow, helping the circulation. It's really important. And I like to sort of dig in. And sometimes not too hard, not too much pressure. Like right now, I'm not putting in a lot of pressure. Yeah, just move as you're guided. Like right now, just some kind of really like gentle strokes is what I'm being guided, to do. And again, it's really about just moving the energy and just helping your circulation. When it comes to leg and foot massaging again, and even arm massaging, you really can't go wrong when you're doing it in the DIY aspect. There's more concern with deep tissue massage when it is on the back and on the spine, in certain areas. And normally to even have that happen, someone actually has to be working on you. And so even they have to be mindful of how they are. And that's why you need to go to a trained professional, for that particular aspect. And so again, if you don't really know how to, massage yourself, just be present with the body and then just start to kind of move your hands just kind of in the way that you're guided. But if not, definitely follow along with what I'm doing. You can't go wrong with this level, of stimulation for your well-being. So you can make some little circles. If you watch my videos regularly, I like to work around the ankles a lot, especially when preparing to work on the feet. It's just really good to really work, in this area here. And get a little bit more lotion. Like I said, you do it according to how you feel. Sometimes you feel to do it more briskly, sometimes just, a little slow. Just depends. One of the things you do have to be a little bit mindful of when you are, let's say, massaging your knees or right underneath, you don't want to really put too much pressure or even spend a lot of time under here. Normally I tell people that if you're going to work under your knee, it may be for acupressure, but I don't really recommend doing a lot of massaging in this area. I would rather you spend more time on your upper knee than behind. And that's a whole nother lesson on why not to really spend a lot of time there. But again, not to get too technical, just take my word for it. It's okay to rub, do some gentle, rubbing, but don't really get, too deep into there. Now for your calves or so, you definitely can, do that. And some of you may feel guided to work, on your thighs. Again, I'm just allowing myself to be guided. Okay, so I'm going to spend some time now just massaging my feet here. Let me position myself here. Just rubbing. So I'm going to spend some time here on the heel, just massaging there. And also I'm working the intestinal area, colon area here. And I'm not actually being intentional to work in this area. It's just where the guidance is. And I'm just basically just showing my heel some love. But in the process of doing that, I am, from a reflexology standpoint, working in certain areas here. So again, you just work according to your guidance. If some of you are following along, I hope that this is being beneficial for you. And if you're just starting out with the DIY bodywork, I just want to encourage you to definitely make it a part of your regular practice, because the more you do it, it's not only the better that you will feel, but it's actually leveling up your well-beingness on levels like you just far beyond what you can even imagine. Right in here is working the respiratory system. But I'm not necessarily being intentional about that again. I am just going with the guidance and just showing, my foot at this time some love. Just doing some massaging. But because I am demonstrating, or just really you all being with me during this time, it's often hard not to talk about where the different organs or parts are that you're touching on your feet that are actually stimulating your higher well-being in other areas. So spend a little bit of time digging in here. I am going to put a little bit of pressure in here. You all can let me know down in the comments what areas you're working on, or if you are kind of just working along with me. So I'm getting deep in here. When I say I'm getting deep, it doesn't mean that I'm putting a lot of pressure, so to speak. It's just I am kind of working intentionally at this point. And there is some pressure, certainly, but it's not hard. But I did feel guided to work deep. And that means just digging in more. like versus me just, kind of doing light strokes, so to speak, or just, light rubbing. I just felt guided to dig in. And when you're digging in, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're putting in more pressure, and it could. It just means that the positioning in terms of how you're doing what you're doing is what makes the difference. See, like pressing in, so to speak, You can see that here. Trying not to break off into a lesson here with you all. I just want you to be, just spending this time really focusing more on, I would say, the self-massage, aspect. Now I'll come back in another video and, talk about really the best ways to give yourself, a foot massage or a lower body massage. A lower leg, I should say, calf down massage. Okay. Let's do some rubbing here. Then I'm going to start working on my left foot. But this foot right here is not quite ready for me to leave it. That may seem more of a lingering on here, but so, I'm actually going to use some of my other lotion here. I think I'm just so used to using that one too, but it really works well. I mean, I love this new one, definitely. This one here just seems to it works really well. And if any of you have like calluses on your feet or so, I know sometimes in these areas is where people experience them the most. It's really good to do a lot of massaging in this area or even around the areas, because you'll find things that are calcified. And sometimes people feel calcification, like I don't have any, going on, but I know just in the areas, even when I work on other people, some of the calcification that can happen in these areas. And it really is because there's not the blood flow, the energy flow really going to those areas. But if you can work them and work around them, you'll see tremendous improvement for sure. Okay, so let me come over to my left side here and just be present. And be present with the guidance. So meanwhile, as I'm being present, I'm just going to kind of do what I was doing on my right side. And just do some rubbing. So actually more of my upper legs, the thigh area. So I'm going to do some rubbing in this area. Spend a little bit of time here. Again, you really have to follow the guidance. I try not to be so in routine to always also assume that what I'm doing on one side, I need to do it on the opposite side. Kind of sometimes in the traditional format, that's what's taught, and it works well to be able to support both parts of the body equally. But there are times where certain sides require, something different. And again, just let me know in the comments what you're working on. Or what areas of concern you are having during this time. And even as I was opening up, talking about loving thyself and the importance of self-love, and again, when you are spending time doing this level of practice, on yourself, you are appreciating yourself and you are loving yourself, taking care of yourself. Take good care of yourself, then you can definitely be of great assistance to others. If you're not taking care of yourself and you're trying to take care of others, you are doing yourself the biggest detriment, but them as well. We have to make sure our cups are full before we start giving out. Or even if our cups aren't full, we need to take time to fill up our well-being as cups. And stop giving of ourselves in ways that are not beneficial. It may be helping other people, but it should never be to the biggest detriment of your well-being, to be a sacrificial lamb, so to speak, in that way. That's not what you're called to do or be. Use some more of this lotion here. Yep, if you don't support yourself effectively, you are not really being as beneficial to others. So how can we best take care of others if we don't take care of ourselves? or support others if we don't support ourselves? And what is more important than your health? Your health is your wealth. Because even in your spiritual practice, you have to be supporting your temple. You have to be supporting your highest well-being. You can't really even nurture your spirit accordingly if you're not taking care of yourself. And so simple practices of doing DIY body work just helps, it enhances and enriches really all of those areas. It's interesting, my lotion got it got stuck. Gonna have to unscrew that top a little bit more. So I'll just use this other one here. Okay. So come look on my left foot here. Okay, so right in here is wanting some love. So be intentional in this area. And again, like I mentioned, different sides of the body require different levels of support and different areas of attention sometimes. And the great thing even about doing this for yourself is that you can definitely be able to practice this on others, just in a more general way, not anything that's going to get you in trouble, because you need to be certified or licensed to do this work, and I am, certified to do this work on other people. But there are ways that you can, practice this just in a general way on others, especially as you learn the different areas that are going to be beneficial. And when you're doing more of a reflexology in a massage way, it's a little bit different than when you're actually practicing it. So again, you can even pass this along to others, or just do some general rubbing. I'm sure there are times when you've probably had to rub somebody's feet or work on someone in a certain way, and they'll know you're not doing it from a practitioner standpoint, but just being able to, help bring others relief. But again, as you're able to do this on yourself, then you definitely can be beneficial to others. And even if it is encouraging them to work on themselves, Okay. I think I'm going to work on my hands just a little bit. Maybe a little bit of arm rubbing here. Like I say, you all are just invited into my sacred space time that I'm spending with myself. But it's your time too, if that's what you're choosing, to do, is work on yourself. Or just watch so that you can then better support yourself at another time. Again, I would love to hear what you're working on, or if you are just watching the demonstration in a sense, so that you can know, how to work on yourself. Let's see if I can get this other bottle open here. I think the little top got jammed or so. Let's see here. Maybe it'll work for me now. No? Okay. Well, I'll work on that later. I'll just stick with the other lotion. I'm so used to using this one. I really like it, even though this new one is really great too. But it just seems like I have to use more of it. The other one I don't have to use as much. But maybe I need more vitamin C and turmeric on my skin right now. And some of you may just be taking this time, just to moisturize yourself better, Oh, I'm digging in. I really want this other lotion. You all just excuse me for just a moment. I just have to open this bottle up. And I'll work with that top later. I just really want this. So I'm just opening up. You all have seen me do this quite often. It's just the best way to get the circulation going in your hands, is just to do some light rubbing, light strokes, so to speak, and then you can put more pressure, on it. Again, I'm just following guidance, how to best support myself during this time. So I'm just showing you what I'm doing here. And again, feel free to work along with me. such a good way to move the energy and the blood in your fingers. Okay, I think I'm going to bring this to a close. Or I'm saying that, and obviously I'm not stopping, but but I will sort of close this protocol down. Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for being with me during my own sacred space time. And again, when I create these videos, it's the opportunity for you to have this sacred space as well. And again, I want to be intentional, even for you to come forth on today and just say it's a great day to really be practicing that higher level of self-love and being intentional, in this way. So again, let me know in the comments what you worked on or how you're supporting yourself, during this time. Definitely looking forward, to reading those, and I hope that this has been helpful and beneficial for you. And I featured earlier my publication, Love Thyself. It's actually a part of a publication series that I have, and I'll have information in the description how you can secure a copy of this and other publications in the series. And of course, as always, I love to feature my publication, I Touch Myself, and I like it. And you can secure a copy of this work on Amazon, but also there'll be a link in the description, and you can learn more about how to pick up a copy as well. So happy Love Day to you all again. I hope once again this has been beneficial for you, and of course I look forward to bringing you more videos of this nature in the near future. Have a great rest of the day.